Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to our subscriber game tournament as we continue with round 2 with match 11 against Storm's End. So, there's a couple things I need to mention as we kick off this pre-deployment analysis here. Storm End let me know before the match that he had been sick the week before to prepare for the match, and he was still feeling a little bit under the weather. And I did offer him to delay the match potentially for about 2 days, but he didn't want to interfere with the schedule, so he decided to tough it out and play it regardless. And because of that, he didn't exactly read the rules carefully. He wasn't feeling great the week before, during which I provided the rules. So he did not catch the line where I mentioned this map would be a rain battle. So as we loaded in, he had these multi-bolt crossbow, and upon seeing them during deployment, I actually offered him to reload the match with trebuchets instead, and he was pretty gracious and he just accepted it, and perhaps he didn't want to give up the fact that he had Yanbaihu here. He said he would just play it out with the crossbows. So a lot of things, working against him in this match, so keep that in mind as we proceed. Now, looking at the deployment, what I could see at the time was I saw these two crossbows. I did not know about Yanbaihu deploying behind me. They have stock, his entire retinue, so they're undetectable by my walls and towers, and they're going to attempt a sneak attempt from behind. Now, this was a strategy that I had been expecting ever since creating this defensive setup, because I purposely did not give myself a strategist with foresight to encourage players to attempt a rear flank. There are some mechanisms in the game that kind of work against this method, and I'll mention it as we proceed. Now, there is going to be a bit of experience in terms of how to use your stock troops effectively to take a city, but we can just first look at the front that I saw at the time. I saw that he had Defender of Empires correctly in turtle formation, or at least they're not currently in turtle, I guess, but they can be in turtle. Yeah, they're not currently in turtle, but they can be in turtle to absorb some of the tower hits. Now, the crossbows with the fire shots in the rain, absolutely horrible. You don't need to consider them at all. They will never light your tower on fire. Think of them as basically 4 archers trying to shoot down your tower with fire arrows. Not going to work. The other units are actually Northern Veteran Saber Infantry, and all of them can turtle. So all his infantry have turtle formations, so they can proceed past the wall without worrying about the towers. Because no trebuchets, he cannot break down the wall, so that would be a bit unfortunate. Now, Lu Zhi, as the strategist, does have Stifling Deluge. He does not have Wisdom River, but Turning the Tide can be useful if he's able to route down some of my units. Xu Huang is tier 3. We mentioned in multiplayer he has a very interesting skill set where he picks up Vanguard skills, and that actually helps him quite a bit. The Fleet Foot, not really useful, but the acceleration's pretty massive for him if he, should lead a charge. I think this is just way better for him on Records mode, where he gets more cavalry units. Now it's just a very fast Xu Huang charging at you. Not super scary. Unbreakable, though. Lu Zhi also will not be unbreakable, but the sword is decent. Mainly just going to use him for Stifling Deluge, I think, in this scenario. Now, the most interesting part of this comp is Yanbaihu here. Yanbaihu is tier 3. He will give his entire retinue stock because it's on his armor. And he only brought 2 Yue Remnant Warriors. This could be an issue. He did rank them up to level 2 and level 3, so he spent a little bit of money on them. He also spent a little bit of money on the crossbow, which is just sad to see. 2 levels on these, and a couple levels here as well. If he had recruited more units on Yanbaihu, it probably would have been better, because the trick in the backside here is you need to overwhelm me. Well, actually, there's 2 approaches. 1 is you climb everywhere. 2 is you only climb with Yanbaihu. Because the issue with stock units is the game will tell me when I get scaled. So there will be this dialogue says, units are scaling your walls, even though if I can't see them. Now, I would not know which wall they're scaling because it will still be stock to me. And I will also get a notification from the game. It'll say like enemies capturing your towers, enemies capturing your gates. And I can see the green turning red. So at that point, I can tell where the units are. But before that, I'm oblivious to which part of the wall they are coming in. So you could technically use Yan Hu to scale a wall here and then just park him off to the side, somewhere hidden where I might not run into him. And I just can't keep track of him. I have to pull a couple units back here just to patrol, just to see if I can bump into a unit, or else I'll never find them. And then he can maybe set up for a very nice poison volley, or if he sees I'm busy dealing with the unit scaling up front, he could then try to capture the gate, let his units, whether they're cavalry, whether they're infantry, whatever he has, in without scaling, because climbing the wall does fatigue you, as we mentioned. That's one way to do it. The second way is just have 6 units under him and everyone climb a wall at the same time, and I cannot pull all my units back. That's impossible. The travel time will be way too long, and I would have to expose my front to whatever is coming at me. So I can't send enough back help to defeat them, and they can scale through and they can break through into the center. Because let's say if I only can send the cavalry plus 2 generals back here, and there's 6 units scaling me, and I find a couple of them, I start fighting them, the others can stay stocked and move through and try to capture this. And that will lead to more chaos as I try to pull units around. But that's another different approach. Unfortunately, so far we have not seen any massive Yan Hu usage, and this is the first, so this is going to be a pretty nice battle to observe, and let's kick things off. So we're gonna keep an eye out on this and also just take a peek over there. The very beginning will be him trying to shoot down towers. He's accepted the fate that, yeah, 5%. He's gonna need 10 shots just to light up 1 tower. And that's without considering the reload time and the rain reducing the fire damage over time. And after the second, we are at 6%. It's just not gonna happen. Yan Hu has started the climb. Okay. So once he hooks onto the wall, in-game, I will actually get a dialogue that says, that one. They're on the walls. At this point, I was a little confused, right? This is all I could see. And I'm like, okay, so perhaps there's a Yan Hu, or perhaps there's a He Man, who gave surprise attack and all his units are invisible and they've been, you know, marching at me. Maybe they guerrilla deployed into this forest, or maybe this forest, and they clicked on it, and they clicked on surprise attack, and they just marched up well stocked for the next minute. So I have units outside exploring. It's like, where are they? And I have units on the walls to check if they're climbing on the walls. And once I made sure it's not the front, I'm like, okay, it's gotta be the back. So I started sending units to the back, but at the same time, I'm like, if they have too many units, then Zhang Liao could get killed. And up until this point, I have no idea where exactly I'm getting scaled. I know it's not here anymore. He has switched targets, which I don't recommend. He decided that this target's bigger, so perhaps with all his shots he can burn this down. I mean, that's correct. I mean, when you have brought these, there's nothing you can really do, so nothing. I'm checking. I'm like, where are the enemy? You know, I sent 1 unit back to the center because even if they scale everything in the back, if I can, you know, just hold this, it wouldn't be so bad. So instead of trying to approach the unknown, I decided, okay. And then when I saw this, I'm like, okay, they're in the back. We know for sure. So this is probably not the correct move, because that tower, sure, it can shoot inside, but if you stayed invisible without me knowing exactly where you are, the tower wouldn't shoot you. So he probably should have moved his unit in first before exposing it like this. So now I know where Yan Hu is. I don't know he had other units, but I'm going to go and stop him. And at the same time, Lu Bu is coming too. We're going to try to send as much help as we can. We're shifting some units around, but we're not going to give up this side. There was no coordinated attack on the front. I mean, with the turtle formation on all the units, he could have scaled the front at the same time to make sure I couldn't focus everything. Like, if Xu Huang did the climb here now, with the turtle units, I couldn't really help. And he would be able to use his Flame the Phoenix and actually soften up my units on the walls. But we know exactly where Yan Hu is, and I have Zhang Liao right on him, and we have started our fight. Yan Hu is very tired, And the towers are now starting to shoot him. And he's trying to run, but there's not a lot of places to run. And the morale has kicked in. Lu Bu's right behind. Now the units, I don't know why he decided to put the units to chase over here. The advantage of these units had been they were invisible, but they're not invisible anymore. They should have just climbed down and stayed invisible and just hid. Because I didn't know where they are. But when he commits them by charging at me, then I know where they are. And now they're just getting hit by towers and generals. And they're already fatigued. I already shifted a lot of units back. In the front here, we're still very safe. So there was definitely some coordination issues. Yamahu's getting picked up. Now, eventually he will actually go back to stock because I don't have a unit on top of him. So he might still bounce back because the morale's only 0. -1. Even that, I think he can bounce back. Now, there's no way these infantries can match up against Lu Bu and Zhang Liao. We freeze them in place, we start smashing them. Cavalry's on the way, infantry's on the way. Still no threat from the front. We got picked off a little bit by the crossbows. They're killing off the units now. The tower did not light up yet. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. And this is exactly why I never built crossbows in campaign. One rainy day makes them completely worthless. So, never gonna recruit them. Alright, these 2 units both died, unfortunately. And Yanbahu bounced back. He's invisible. So, he can actually make another attempt at climbing in the future. Alright, now that I killed 2, I'm not entirely sure if he has more. But given that this unit is on the wall, it's unlikely they sneak up over here. So we're on the horse, and we're going back to the front. He did successfully light up the tree on fire, but that's about it. We recaptured the tower. Zhang Liao did that. I sent him over just to make sure we still have that for interior shots, and then we can get back on our horse and leave. I did not know he bounced back. Right, that info is not given to me. He's now moving some of his crossbows closer up. And they're getting shot. There is no attempt at using turtle, which is a bit disappointing. And the longer you wait, the rain will douse some of the fire damage over time. So, yeah, it's going to be harder and harder. Knowing that the back is safe, the cavalry's coming back, we're going to hide here. And we don't know what else they have, but whatever they have, if there's an opening, we're going to go for it. Hanging on with 9 morale over here. I call this the Crouching Tiger. Gonna give it another shot, climb the wall again in the future. Back in the front, another attempt at the towers. It's just not gonna work. I think perhaps he should have, you see how these units got killed with the arrow towers on this side? Maybe he could have tried to aim some shots over here. Maybe over here. Yeah, there's just not a lot of things. Okay, he's trying to kill units now. He has adapted his plan. I mean, this is good. Casualties in a defeat matters. So, let's get some units killed. Put those ammo to work, because he doesn't have enough ammo left to get a tower. So he's just aiming at units now. Got 2. Yeah, but these walls will protect me quite well. And the assault has started without using turtle formation. Very sad. Xu Huan zigzagging, and people came out to face him. I mean, I knew it's a worse turtle formation finally. A worse is 1v2, right? It's not that bad anymore. Yamahu we took out already. They have turtle too. There we go. That's the correct way. And now after they tank it up, the generals can move forward as well. They're also turtling. So now we see what they have. And given that it's a massive turtle composition, My cavalry can't do too much. I'm starting to move all my infantry back. It looks like a widespread assault. Yan Baihu has returned on the wall without letting me know. So I think what ideally would have been the play is had these climbed the wall, and the moment they started climbing, they climbed too. Because then the game would just tell me, enemies climbing the walls, and I would assume, okay, the enemies are climbing the walls. And then they come in, take this while I'm fighting all these units. There's plenty of units in the front for me to fight. And then they sneak up, and I realize I'm already engaged in melee. Xu Huang's on the walls, I have to answer. Full health Yan Baihu. And 2 units capturing the center. That would have been beautiful. Alright, I'm just picking these guys off. Might as well kill them. We can get the army lost in the future. And you can see, turtle units will take no damage. I realize that. I'm gonna get close to them. I can't charge them. I wait for them to come fight me, and then I stall them. And I slam and I go. Right, if you see people come out at your infantry and turtle, don't send them at him. I can't do anything to you. If you move and break your formation, that's how you die. Alright, we're coming back to safety. Xu Huang's running around. They still have a few that didn't get affected, so they can still move forward. And they're still moving forward. And you can see, in turtle, none of the tower pose any threat. They're full health. Yan Baihu's coming. Coming for the towers. This is going to be interesting. I'm trying my best to get the units at the right place. It's a long walk for them covering the back and then now coming back on the front. And these took damage, so that should be also pretty difficult. I'm trying to harass. I can't because tower's not doing anything to turtle, so I got to try to harass the best I can. And if Lu Zhi is a little bit more daring and just park himself here, he can shut down my abilities. Alright, I'm trying to stretch out the unit as much as possible so they cover like thinly on the wall. At least we got a unit everywhere that could be scaled. And here comes the climb. Lasso up. To war. Yeah, shutting down my abilities. Yeah. 1 unit. So ideally, the play should be 1 turtle unit stayed here the whole time with all the aggro. So once everyone else climbed, the towers still stay on that 1 unit. And I'm trying to charge from behind as the units are lining up to climb, just to kind of harass them and stop them. There's a lot of pressure from my units on the wall. Xu Huang with Flame the Phoenix is tough. Alright, we're hitting this unit right here as much as we can. Lu Bu is trying to join the units on the wall to help them out. I don't think I'm allowed to use any abilities with this range. Oh, it's close. Oh, see? I don't know if he should have shot that. But, I mean, it helped, I guess. I don't know. I actually question whether that was a good hit or not. But he captured it. The countdown has started. I have started to pull my generals back. I'm like, no, this is bad. He should not have... See, once he shot that, like, we saw him. He's trying to capture this. I don't know. They're not bothering him. I don't know why he has to capture this. He should just, you know, gone into hiding. So now I feel a bit of pressure, you know. You have to try to pull generals back. You have to, like, micro in 2 different places. So imagine if it was coordinated from the beginning and he had full health Yan Baihu plus 2 Yue remnants. Very hard to deal with. They slipped in because of the fighting occurring under the gates because my cavalry was trying to come back in. So the gate was like open the whole time. Now it's Lu Bu 1v2 without being able to use any abilities. And this is going to be tight. If he kills Lu Bu here, Xu Huang versus Zhang Liao, questionable. And he's gone into hiding again. This is the fight that will determine everything. Now Xu Huang's low. Charge right back. Got a hit on Lu Bu. Lu Zhi's coming in to help. Those are just knockbacks. There's no such thing as friendly fire. kiting it back for another charge so that he doesn't stay here and get killed. I'm trying to charge him as well. I'm gonna try to kill... Like, Ludra just takes about 2 hits. There's 1. There's 2. Things are gonna be close. Who's gonna get the next hit? Alright. He's still gonna have his ability until he leaves the zone. Doesn't matter if he's routing or not. So I still can't use any of my abilities. The infantry is really annoying. It's really about who gets a hit now. I'm still disabled by Stifling Deluge. I got caught up with infantry again. Ludra's back. Ludra got a hit. Xu Huang. And a double kill. I actually think Ludra killed me, but I killed Xu Huang on the same move. Zhang Nao's back. He eventually got army lost. That's the unfortunate part. The units on the walls went out. Or most of them went out. There's a couple unbreakable units. Ludra's gone. So Yanbai Hu wasn't able to do anything more. Zhang Nao is now able to help out the units, and this battle is pretty much sealed up. It was close, because Xu Huang is unbreakable. If he had gotten the kill on Lu Bu and stayed alive, now obviously Zhang Nao is still relatively healthy. I think I would have still been able to pull it out, but that was a scary moment. And killing Lu Bu actually netted Storm's End 60 kills worth of points for casualties. I'm now trying to pull my units away, sending Zhang Nao to finish up the rest. Friendly fire from the tower is kind of hitting my own units at this rate with only 4 enemies. So we're just going to pull everything back. Yeah, the tower's going to be able to kill them. Now, overall, this probably shows Yanbai Hu's strategy definitely could have worked. Even in this battle, even with the wrong siege weapons. If the attack on the walls occurred at the same time, where the game wouldn't tell me where exactly the enemy's climbing the wall, and they just happen to be climbing on this side at the same time, then I wouldn't have found out. We have a fresh unit of Yanbai Hu unit. Don't capture towers, just come in, land, capture this. And if I'm still engaged with units on the wall, I have to think of some way to go protect that. And Yanbai Hu and units would have been able to kill the generals. Full health Yanbai Hu is not bad. Decent weapon, high evasion. I would give him a pretty decent chance. And then at that point, Xu Huang can get on the wall and start slamming my units. I'm just trying to clean up things without taking too much casualty. Just 2 more. They're running the other way. 1 more. Yeah, the tower is just hitting whoever's routing. Zhang Nao can't move through because he bumps into like a routing unit. He's just like, I gotta hit that unit. Can't let them live. Alright, he came down here. He got 1 more kill. Every point counts. Get back up. You can do it. Get another kill. Nope. Nope. And with that, we have won. So, mainly, this was a very tough circumstance for Storm End to begin things. He obviously wasn't feeling great. Life happens. People get sick. People have schedule issues, and did not realize this was going to be a rain map. And he brought the wrong siege weapons. But despite that, and I offered him to restart the entire battle with trebuchets instead. But he graciously accepted the circumstances and went along with it. He had a very interesting idea of using stock units, the first one to try this in 11 matches. And I think despite everything that happened, he proved that this strategy would have worked. I was expecting this since setting up this match. I was hoping someone would showcase this. But unfortunately, we haven't seen it until now. And just because you had this idea, executing it will be also a little bit difficult. Like, you have to realize that when you climb walls, the game will tell you you're climbing walls. You have to adjust accordingly to that. Having another climbing unit on the front, since you had turtle, you don't have to care about the towers. And then adjusting the crossbow to kill units, pretty nice go. And now all that matters is how many units did Storm End kill, and whether that will give him a good position to move into the round of 8. Alrighty, so let's have a count. That's all that's important now. 17 cavalry killed, Lu Bu is 60, so that's 77. And then 40 here, 117. That's 31 here, 117. We're at 148. 148 plus 26, 174. 174 plus, wow, this is huge. 72? No, 82. 82. So 174, 82. We're looking at 256. 256. So not bad. The Lu Bu kill definitely helped a lot, and to get the Lu Bu kill on Xu Huan that moment, perhaps if Xu Huan lucked out a little bit more, there would have been even more casualties because he could do Flame the Phoenix. But overall, 256 would actually put him into 6. And that would actually push Banana Fishbone down one more time, just like how Furin Cosm pushed him down yesterday, delaying his potential advancement. And this would also mean that Storm End, because he's 6 with only 2 more players to play, actually advances into the round of 8 with this result. So regardless of how our final 2 contestants perform, he is safe. And that also means we're going to be eliminating another contestant after this performance, and that's going to be Via Smasher with 165. He's going to be exiting the tournament. Congratulations to those who advance, and really appreciate those who played and did not advance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye!